Hello. Today, I want to talk about fear and how to navigate fearful situations. So regardless of whether you're talking about your professional life, your romantic life, or even your personal expansion, fear takes two forms. And these two forms may express themselves in different ways in your life. The two forms that fear takes are, one, the fear of loss of that which you seek in your life. And the second form is a fear of gain of that which you want to avoid in your life. All fear is going to be rooted in these two forms. Now, the areas where you may experience fear may be related to your profession, your personal life, your romantic life, etc. Let's look at an example of this. Let's say you work really, really hard in your life. The question I will ask you is, do you work hard because you love what you do? Or do you work hard because you are afraid you will lose something if you don't? The two are very, very different energies. They're very different thinking mechanisms in yourself. So, an example of this might be you go to work every day and you put in your best because you love what you do. That is not fear-based. It's very clear. On the other hand, you may not be satisfied at all in your life with your work, and you may be going to work because you are afraid to lose your paycheck. Now, the flip side of you being afraid to lose your paycheck may cause you to also have a fear of gain of something that you're trying to avoid. The fear of gain of that which you're trying to avoid is you may be going into work and just doing everything your manager asks and not disagreeing with anything he or she may be telling you, because you are afraid that if you did, your fear of loss may in fact come to fruition and you may lose your job. So this is a fear of gain which is piled on top of your fear of loss of something. So this is what I call a double fear. And when we get stuck in this type of thinking, we are not free within ourselves. We're letting fear run us, and we're not free within ourselves, to be our authentic self, and to do what we came here to do and live our life with purpose and meaning. So similarly, in our romantic life, we may be very attached to our partner and very afraid to speak our mind in the relationship or be authentic in the relationship. Why? We may be afraid that we won't be accepted for who we are, or the other person may walk out on us if we did. And because of this fear, what we end up doing is within ourselves, we function in a very small way because we are afraid that we will gain that which we are afraid of losing by being in our authentic body. So now we have the double whammy of being afraid to lose something and being afraid to gain something. So this is what you call a double take, essentially, okay, in your life. Now, anytime you're running in these type of cycles, you're going to be running in fear and not in love, okay? So what you want to start to recognize is you really want to take a very systematic approach and recognize that fear is not real. It is made up in your mind. Fear is something the human mind makes up as a result of past experiences which have been similar, where we have actually decided that we will not put ourselves through a similar experience. So let me give you a case in point. You may have been stuck in a very difficult childhood situation and you manage to finally get out of that childhood situation by pushing through the fear. But you might still be holding on to the fact that if you will never go back to that situation again, which means that you are letting fear run you because your thinking is you will never do something that happened in the past when that past has already happened and gone by. Okay? So your energy and attention is still in the past. Now, what you want to do is you want to bring your attention forward from that past energy and past occurrence and experience into the now. Because in this moment, if you see the fear differently than you did in the past, then you have a way to navigate that differently in the future. Okay? If you don't take a different perspective on what happened in the past, your fear of trying to avoid what happened in the past will always keep running you. And so you will be running from the fear because you are afraid that it will gain on you. It's like a race. You're running a race and you're afraid that the person behind you is going to overtake you. So you're constantly watching your back instead of keeping your eyes in front of you. And what that might mean is that you manifest a little rock which is on the way and you trip on that rock because you're looking behind and you're not looking forward. You're not looking at where you're going. Instead, you're looking at what you're trying to avoid, and you're trying to avoid that gain that somebody else is behind you and they may come upon you. So this is a very good example to put in your mind when you think about your fear. And then from here, you can decide if you're letting the past run you. If you're letting the past run you, then take a conscious look at the areas where the past is running. Write down professionally where the past is running you, romantically where the past is running you, where you are refusing to expand because you are going by the past running you instead of seeing the present moment as a blank canvas to creating the future you desire. Whether that's a romantic relationship or a professional future that you're trying to create. Okay? So instead of you're limited in the box thinking, you will learn from the experience of the past and you bring the experience of the past without feeling like you are strapped by that experience. Instead, you will feel love for that experience, for the person that you have become as a result of that experience, and now you can move forward from that experience. So, if it doesn't feel like that to you, you will know through the sensations in your body. If you have fear-driven sensations in your body, your heart rate may be elevated. You may feel a tension come up in your body, in various parts of your body, like your solar plexus area, your abdominal area, or in your heart center. And these are signs that are telling you whether you're feeling fearful or whether you're ready to move forward. Okay? So you can tap into the sensations to know for sure. And then from here, you have to make a resolution. You have to make a decision that you want to move forward. And the way you do that is by consciously taking the approach of looking at your past fear and realizing all the gifts of your past fears going into all 7 dimensions of your life and all of your values. Your values are the areas that have made your life what you have made it to be, your highest priorities in your life. So when you take a look at your highest values, see how your fears, or the past experiences, I should say, have actually led you to create the values you have created today in your life, and also how it has shaped the 7 dimensions, and decide to move away from the fear and into the future. It's a very tricky balance to obtain in your life, but if you really do the work, the difference will be through the sensations that you feel in your body. You will feel a clearing in your heart space. You will feel a clearing in your psychology. You'll feel like there was a weight lifted off your shoulder, and that now you're clear to move forward. And when you know this, you can take that next step toward the life that you have always desired. Because on the opposite side of fear is that which you desire. So you can choose to march in that direction instead of choosing to look behind toward the fear. Because fear does not exist in the now, and it doesn't exist in the future. It exists only in the past experience that you had. So take that experience, give it a new perspective. And when you put a new perspective through your own intuition, when you realize this new perspective, you can now release the fear from your energetic vibration as well as your thought vibration and your emotional vibration. Now you're ready to move forward with your life. Have a good day.